We all have gifts. We all have talents. And I have noticed over the years, I've been doing it 25 years. Yeah. So I've noticed over the years that it comes easier for some than others. But here's what I will tell you. There's one common theme above on the whole thing, and that is ownership leads to creating wealth. Whether you're owning real estate, whether you're owning businesses, whether you're owning instruments that allow you to grow that and protect that wealth, ownership is what leads to wealth. And if we can teach people how to think like owners, then the process will fall into place and they'll move closer to those goals.
So it's not necessarily being a business owner. It's having a thought and a mindset. And I kind of hate the word mindset, but it's because it's really buzzword right now. But having a mindset of, I'm going to own whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah, 100%. So it is, and you say mindset, and I know people talk a lot about it, but honestly, where does it begin?
Sure.
How do you think? And I, so many people hear this, but there is a big difference between an abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset.
Very much so.
And I challenge people on a daily basis not to think fearfully. Be smart, have a strategy, have a plan, have the right partnerships, but think abundantly. And when you think abundantly, then it leads to ownership.
It does. I totally agree. So let's go back. So we know what you do now. Let's go back to childhood. Let's just take it way back. Okay, so tell me about growing up, where you grew up, the home that you grew up in, your folks.
Yeah.
So give me some background there about who you are, who Justin Kraft really is.
Yeah, man. So started out, I was born in Lafayette, Alabama, a thriving metropolis in East Alabama.
Exactly.
About 2,000 people.
Not many people at all.
Yeah. When I was 5 years old, my dad had an opportunity to take over managing a trucking operation in the oil and gas business that was based in East Texas. So when I was 5 years old, we uprooted. We moved to East Texas.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, we are 4 minutes into this thing, and there's something I didn't know about Justin.
I had to save a couple of surprises.
You saved something. Okay.
So
at 5, moved to East Texas.
Yep.
So your dad was a business owner. Was he a business owner?
No.
So he worked for this company?
He was an operational guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So he worked for a trucking company in the operational division. So we were there when I was 14. Parents went through a divorce, and I moved back to Alabama, and that's how I got to Alexander City, Lake Martin.
So 9 years in East Texas.
Yeah, 9 years. Still have some great friends that I went through junior high with.
Growing up, what was the home like growing up? Your dad, did he work a lot? What'd your mom do?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I got a great mom. She's my hero, Thomas. She was both a mom and a dad to me. My dad was gone a lot, and then ended up leading to a single parent home, and which is part of the reason I got into the financial industry. But she was a driving force. She was a lady of strong faith. Yeah. And she taught me a lot of lessons that I'll never forget. One of the biggest ones that I am thankful for today is you never quit. Never quit. Yeah. Finish what you start. Never quit. When you get to the end of it, you can reevaluate.
Exactly.
But never give up, never quit. And I saw her live that each and every day in her faith, in her journey through life. She got dealt a lot of curveballs. Yeah. And as the youngest son watching that, it had a big impact on me.
Did she work outside the home, or did she work in the home?
Yeah, she never did until once the divorce was final. She ended up working 2, sometimes 3 jobs.
Wow.
Thomas, when I was in high school. To make ends meet, we had a good middle class childhood, and then after that, things got pretty hard, and taught me a lot of lessons again, and I'm thankful for those days.
So you've talked about faith a couple of times here in the first 4 or 5 minutes. Was church a big part of growing up? Was that something that you guys did every week? I mean, like for us, my mom was. Played the organ in the Baptist church 9 months before I was born, and she's 75, and she still plays it today. Yeah. So I was in church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Yeah. Like, that's all I remember. What about you? What about you?
Yeah, man. If I'm honest with you, it was off and on.
Sure.
So as a young kid, obviously we were in church on Sundays. Yeah. And it was a great experience. Mm-hmm. I don't remember much of that, to be honest with you. It was more just what you did. Yeah. But I will tell you, I had a pretty unique experience with my Savior when I was about 8 years old. And I remember being in the church and all of a sudden having a desire to talk and tell the people of the congregation who Jesus was to me.
Wow.
and went to our pastor, and thankfully he said, I think this is something we need to do. So they gave me a lot of notes, and I can't really remember it.
Yeah.
All that I heard is every note that I was given is not what I talked about that day. I was able to get up in front of a church at 8 years old and tell them about the love of Jesus. And I think about that today because, Thomas, as an adult, if I'm honest, going through college, God was always a part of my life.
Yeah.
My faith was important. It was important in the business decisions that I made when I got out of college. But the relationship with him changed for me in 2017. And I walked through a couple of difficult things that happened at one time in life, and it brought me closer to him. And that's when the relationship really started. That's when the morning routine kicked in. That's when the church really began to matter to me, and it wasn't just checking a box on Sunday. It really began to matter, and I'm so thankful for that, man.
Man, oh man, that's awesome.